Former Real World Champion Nick Aldis just announced as new Smackdown GM and said you're going to answer a couple of questions for us. Thanks for sitting down.
Thanks for having me. I heard you have a couple of questions you'd like to address, something you really wanted to know from a GM standpoint when it comes to professional wrestling. And now that a real world champion is in the role, I will answer these questions that apparently everyone's wanted to know, but no GM has had the intestinal fortitude to answer for you. So here I am to do that for you.
So the first question is, why don't GMs have
Yeah.
a main event planned for their show?
Okay, so this has been one thing that, my wrestling career spans back decades now, right? I'm getting to that age. And that is one thing I have noticed. Well, sitting here working backstage with WWE for the last couple of months, I've realized why GMs don't have main events planned going into the night. And it's not that they don't have a main event plan. They usually have standby matches, which, like, for instance, this last Friday on SmackDown, it was going to be Chelsea Green versus Natalia. They're not big marquee main events. But over the years, we realized in this business with professional wrestlers, things get chaotic backstage, in the locker room. Someone may come out to speak their mind, cut a promo, as they call it, and another wrestler may get upset by that and, interfere, interrupt their promo, which may prompt a match to be made. So, yes, usually GMs have a main event plan, but like I said, it's not a big time headlining main event, but they know the nature of professional wrestling. So they know they'll be able to make one by the end of the night because of all the chaos happening backstage here, not only in the WWE, but other companies do it as well. So that, I'm hoping, is a good enough answer for you. But, like Mid South used to have standby matches that good old JR would announce throughout the night in case, a title match didn't go the full 30 minutes. Or they got every match done within 3 minutes, so we went with these standby matches. Well, WWE just doesn't want to announce those ahead of time because they don't want to announce something and not give it to you, believe it or not.
All right, here's another big one. Parking lots in wrestling. They just seem like the most dangerous places.
So yes, the dangerous parking lots in professional wrestling. That is something I've noticed as well. As a real world's champion, I've traveled across the world, visited several promotions while I was doing so. And it seems like just about any wrestling company you go to, the parking lot is a pretty dangerous place. But I bet if you go back and look at where these crazy parking lots were within all these promotions, you can narrow them down to the same places. And the reason why these parking lots are so chaotic is certain arenas, stadiums that your wrestling company rents out to hold their show. Sometimes within this agreement, you don't get to use your own personal security. You have to use the security provided by the stadium or arena. And think, our pro wrestlers are the top of the top, toughest people. So, what kind of private security is going to be able to hold back our athletes? So, if you notice, and this isn't just for WWE, it's for all wrestling companies. If you notice this chaos that happens in the parking lot, it only happens at certain places. And that's because when the company runs there, they have to use their security, not the promotion's own security, which leads to the parking lot just being so dangerous.
It seems like more and more wrestlers are coming to ringside with their friends, causing chaos within matches. And
Yeah.
if this is just going
So
to
yeah,
continue
we're
to
seeing that with
happen,
the
what's the
bloodline
point of
right
even
now. Okay.
having a
So yeah,
manager's license
sorry,
anymore?
I saw where you were going there. So yes, with the managing license and people being kicked out of ringside. So if you didn't know, a manager has to have a managing license to be there at ringside. Now, wrestlers have exploited this loophole for years, decades even, where the only people that are allowed to be at ringside are those that are working for the promotion, right? But while a match is going on, the only people that are actually supposed to be within a certain space of the ring area is the referee and the wrestlers in the match and a manager with a manager's license. But over the year, it's been interpreted as athletes. So, not the specific athletes to that match, with discretion by the referee or the promotion. That's why when you see interference in matches, the referee is quick to eject a wrestler that's ringside, but not so quick to eject a manager that's at ringside, because that manager actually does have the license to be there and has to do quite a bit more before they're ejected from ringside. But as the SmackDown GM, seeing everything that's happening with the bloodline right now, I'm going to try my hardest. I will scour through the WWE rulebook, because as we all know, the rules here in the WWE universe are a lot different than everywhere else around the world. But I am going to try my hardest to find a way to close that loophole so Roman Reigns can only bring his manager to the ring and no one else, just to see if the tribal chief can hold on to his belt for as long as he has and even longer without having to exploit that loophole.
Well, Magnus, Nick, I do appreciate you clearing all this up for us.
Yeah, you may be seeing me in the ring sooner than later, or if not, maybe they'll throw one of my fancy suits in a garbage bag. You know what I'm saying?
And you guys can catch Nick Aldis every Friday on SmackDown.